Hey guys, Mrs. Shaver here. For today's lesson, which is lesson 2, this first problem, it might be helpful if you have highlighters or crayons. And if you don't have that, you can just use patterns like stripes and polka dots and things like that. So we are continuing our working on understanding that I can write a fraction as a division expression. And today we're going to talk about how we can write our remainders as fractions. So I'm going to put that up here as our goal. Let's write that at the top. I can write remainders as fractions. Okay, just a review of some of our terms from yesterday, reminding you that we have up at the top, we have our numerator, which tells our parts. We have our denominator, which tells how many parts make up the whole. And then remember that when we do fractions, we're talking about equal parts. Okay, let's jump in this today. So today we're kind of doing that same idea of equal sharing model. Looking here, complete the equation in this statement by using a mixed number. So what does it mean when it says a mixed number? A mixed number is a combination of a whole number plus a fraction. So for example, 1.5 would be an example of a mixed number. We have a whole number and we have a fraction number. Also something like this, 2 7/3. That would be an example of a mixed number. So let's see what it says. It says, complete the equation and statement by using a mixed number. Draw a model to help you then divide. So they want us to draw a picture of 7 apples equally shared between friends. Whenever I draw pictures, I usually use rectangles or squares. So I'm gonna do 7 squares that represent my apples. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm going to think about this for a second. I'm going to let these colors actually represent the 4 friends that I'm dividing these apples between. So this is going to be yellow friend number 1. And so I look at my 7 apples. We know that this person is going to get this 1 whole apple, right? Then the next apple could go to our pink friend. And then the third apple could go to our purple friend. And then our next apple could go to our green friend. But then I have a problem because I have 4 friends, but I have 3 apples left. This is where we're going to kind of use fractions and dividing them into equal parts. So if I'm dividing by 4, I need them to have 4 equal parts in order to share them equally. So this is going to be put into 4 equal parts. Now I can easily give my yellow friend gets one of those 4 parts. My pink friend gets the next one. My purple friend gets this one. And then my green friend gets that remaining piece. So let's just think about the yellow friend for a moment. If I were to say that how much does this person get? Well, out of the apples, they get 1 whole apple. And then looking at this, they're getting 3 pieces. But what's my whole? What number makes up a whole apple out of 4 pieces? So they're getting 1 3/4. So what this is saying is that the fraction 7/4 means the same as 1 3/4. How could I prove that? I can actually use division to show this. So when we think about a fraction like 7/4, It's actually a division problem. This is our in number, this is our out number. So look here, our in number is 7, our out number is 4, and we're going to divide. 4 will go into 7 one time, and then I have my steps. 1 times 4 is 4. I'm going to subtract. What is going to be left over? I'm going to have 3 left over. We're going to write that as a fraction. So we bring it up here, and we use our 3 as my numerator, and we are dividing by our 4, which is our whole 3/4. So 7/4, or 7 divided by 4, is the same as 1 3/4. Okay, so that's what we're practicing today, is using division to help write a remainder as a mixed number. Okay, let's look at this one. We have 9 divided by 2, and we know that it's going to equal 9 halves because that's what we learned in yesterday's lesson. But how do I actually convert this to a mixed number? Well, I have this is my in, this is my out. So I'm saying 9 divided by 2. So let's follow our steps. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So I'm dividing. How many times will 2 go into 9? It would go into it 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. We're going to subtract. We get 1. We have nothing to bring down. So we're going to take this remaining and we're going to put it up here is our numerator, and our denominator stays the same. It's 2. So we have 4 1/2. So 9 halves is the same as 4 1/2. Okay. We could even draw a picture if we weren't understanding that. I could draw 9 squares, and I could divide them by 2 people, and I would see how many everybody would get. 4 whole apples if we were doing apples, and then a half of an apple. Okay, let's look at our next one. This is a larger one, right? 52 divided by 6. So again, this is our in number, this is our out number. 52 goes in, our 6 goes out. Good thing I know my math facts. So I'm thinking to myself, well, 6 times 8, that's pretty close, is 48. So I'm going to put my 8 up here on top. We could even do this, right? 6 won't go into 5. If you're needing to kind of make sure that your 8 is above the right place. 6 times 8 is 48. Subtract. Don't forget to regroup. And we have our remainder of 4. What do I do with my remainder? It becomes a fraction. 4/6. We'll talk about simplifying later. So 52, just to rewrite it, divided by 6 equals 8 4/6. Okay, because we're writing it as a mixed number. All right, on the back, we're going to just do one problem in the back. You don't have to do the other problems, but let's look at problem number 4 together because it's a good review for something we're going to be doing soon. So problem number 4 says the following. 7 2/8, so let's write it over here. So minus 3 7/8. So I'm noticing something right away. If I'm going to be subtracting, I can subtract 7 minus 3. But I have 2/8 and I have 7/8. I don't have enough 8ths to do my subtraction. So I'm going to have to borrow from that 7. So remember, we could use like a number bond to borrow from the 7. So I have my 7, and 7 means the same as 6 and 8/8. Remember, if my denominator is 8/8, right? So I can change this to 6 8/8, and I can add that 8/8 to my 2/8. Now I have enough. I have 6 and 10/8 all together, and I am subtracting 3 7/8. And so I can subtract first my 6 minus 3, and then I can subtract my 10/8 minus 7/8, and I will altogether get 6 minus 3 is 3, 10 minus 7 is 3/8. Okay, So our answer is 3 3/8.